Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to another LinkedIn Local Philippines Metro South Live. So in a few minutes, we are about to begin to learn how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract career opportunities. So once more, if you think this live stream and topic is beneficial to someone you know, please invite them to join us this evening with Miss Virginia Bautista. Okay, so once more, in a few minutes, we are about to begin for how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract amazing career opportunities. And before we begin, I would like to say thank you so much to our partners and supporters who made this live stream possible. We'd like to thank Adobe Community Philippines, Autodesk Community Philippines, Binilbian Industrial Designers, BIM Philippines, Bataan Peninsula State University Society of Mechanical Engineering Students, CAD Community Asia, CPSU, JPSME, IRIS College of Engineering Student Government, Engineering Student Council Central Philippine University, Junior Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers Batangas Chapter, JPSME CMU Chapter, JPSME Don Mariano Marcos State University MLUC. Thank you so much. Thank you also to JPSME University of San Jose Recoletos, USJR. To our friends in Batangas State University Mechatronics Engineering Students Society, thank you for joining us. To our friends in Onshape users worldwide, to the students of Holy Angel University PSME, to Philippine Integrated Fire Protection Organization Las Piñas Muntinlupa Chapter. Thank you so much. PSME Parañaque Chapter, PSME Metro South Chapter, Nueva Ecija UST, PSME Student Chapter, SolidWorks User Group Philippines, Tito J's. Good evening, Tito J. To our friends and people of Miss Virginia Bautista, to Wacom users community, and to ZBrush Philippines. So once more, thank you to all our partners who made this live stream possible. Okay, so joining me this evening is Miss Nelsie from CAD Community Asia. Good evening, Miss Nelsie.
Good evening everyone. Good evening, Sir Jomar.
Ayan. Also, joining me this evening are students from pamantasan ng lungsod ng Muntinlupa. Good evening, Christian.
Good evening, Sir Jomar.
Okay, and who else is here? Yep, good evening to Sir Felix Polo. Tama ba, sir? Okay, Felix is currently muted. Ayan. Okay, so before we begin...
good evening, sir.
Good
evening, ma'am. Good evening, guys.
Ayan, I have a few questions before we begin. No? Ms. Nelsie, how did you discover LinkedIn? Ayan, I have a question for you guys.
Ayan, no. Hi. Well, LinkedIn is, they say LinkedIn is the right platform for you to find the right internship or right career or job.
Ayan, how about you, Felix? How did you discovered LinkedIn? Mukhang
Sir, actually before this OJT from Mechaniweb po, nag-try na ako mag-install ng LinkedIn for mga finding job or practicums, ganyan po. So nung nakita ko siya, more on business pala siya and more on learnings about sa mga sa mga companies. Yun po.
Ayan. How about you, Christian Dow?
I've discovered LinkedIn before because my sister uses it to find her job. Kaya nag-try din ako na mag-LinkedIn before. Ayun po.
Ayan. Also joining us this evening is Sir Raymond Victorino. Sir Raymond, good evening.
Hi, Joe Mark. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Ayan. How are you, sir? What's up?
What's up? Medyo busy lang tayo ngayon, pero I'm glad dun sa mga sinagot ng mga guests natin kasi oo, definitely malaking tulong si LinkedIn, no, for students and job seekers.
Oo. Si Christian and Felix are both graduating students, Sir Raymond.
Hi. Congratulations in advance.
Thank
Hi
you.
sir, good evening po.
Good evening.
Ayan. Ikaw na, Sir Raymond, siguro hindi sila familiar sa yung
Hi.
can you share to us what work are you currently involved with or
Yeah. By the way, I'm Raymond Victorino. I'm actually an HR practitioner. So I work for a consumer electronics company here in the Philippines. Siguro share ko na rin kung paano ko na-discover yung LinkedIn.
yeah.
Matagal ko nang alam yung LinkedIn actually. Pero I was not active. So parang I just use it for job hunting before. Pero yung guest natin ngayon, yung speaker natin, actually yung nag-encourage sa akin to be active in LinkedIn, si Miss B. Yun, so I'm really very grateful and I'm really kumbaga experiencing a lot of benefits from being active in LinkedIn. Sa ngayon, not necessarily for job hunting, but yung social learning, no, there's a lot of learning that you can get from your different connections, from the different influencers. So instead na tumambay ako sa FB or mag-IG, ganyan, I actually frequent LinkedIn more nowadays. Ayan. Ikaw ba, Joe Mark?
Ako same din, sir. Same with you then, no. Parang I discovered LinkedIn when I was in Emerson. I remember my age during that time, 25. 25 years old. Kasi after, mostly sa company na pinag-workan ko dati, after Emerson, there's no company na left to go to but abroad na eh. So, yan, they mentioned about LinkedIn. Like you, yeah, for how many years then, I was very inactive and my perception for LinkedIn was only for job hunting only. And and like you as well, I discovered the power of LinkedIn through our special guest as well. So like they used to say, the rest was history. Ayan.
Host ka na ng LinkedIn event, di ba?
Yep. Our guest tonight was one of those reasons who gave us the boost in confidence because I am also like her, medyo mahihain din kahit mukhang hindi. Ayan, and without further, so before we begin pala, let me remind our audience, this is not a conversation, a discussion between the five or the six of us. We are highly encouraging everyone to participate. Feel free to ask questions. Let's make this lively and conversational as much as possible. And yes, let's exchange ideas and learn from each other. Please connect with each other, especially through LinkedIn. And thank you so much to our trainees from Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Muntinlupa. Yep. Okay, without further ado joining us this evening is our dearest friend and inspiration, Miss Virginia Bautista. Good evening, ma'am.
Hey, good evening, John Mark. Good evening, Raymond, Christian, and Felix. I'm honored to be here. And finally, I'm here with John Mark. It's been planned so many months ago.
Good evening, V.
Hi. And I was, yeah, and I was listening to all of you, no, it reminds me of how I started on LinkedIn. And I remember when I graduated, maybe Raymond and John Mark, this will resonate with you. Usually, when we graduate, the first thing that we do is to prepare our CV. And then at that time, we can still look at the newspapers and find jobs. And we would go directly to Makati. I remember myself going to Makati, going from one company to another, submitting my CV. And until recently, I still hear a lot of graduates doing the same thing. But now it's not possible because of COVID-19, because of the pandemic. So you would go to companies and send as many resumes as possible. Then after that, you start praying. I hope someone will contact. The good thing is, with LinkedIn, you don't have to do that. You don't have to chase recruiters. You don't have to go from one company to another. You don't have to spend your money for transportation, and you don't have to rely on praying. Because with LinkedIn, you can proactively find the company that you want to work for and find the people you want to work with. But of course, it all starts with investing your time and energy in optimizing your LinkedIn profile. I'm not sure, John Mark, if I'm supposed to start na, pero pwede na ba akong mag-start?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I want to clarify first because I see Felix and Christian are both graduating, and Raymond is. It's good that Raymond is here because he could also give us some HR perspectives. Now, I just want to clarify at the beginning that to succeed on LinkedIn, you shouldn't limit yourself to optimizing your profile. Optimizing your profile is the first step. That's not the end of it all. Now, to really succeed on LinkedIn, you have to be successful in what I call the 4 pillars of success on LinkedIn. Number 1 is optimizing your LinkedIn profile. That's number 1. Number 2, content marketing. Content marketing is sharing content that help others succeed. You want to be successful, you want to attract people who can help you become successful, then create content that will help others be successful as well. That's the second pillar. So first, LinkedIn profile optimization. Second pillar is content marketing. Third pillar is lead generation. Now, when you optimize your profile and when you do content marketing, you will experience what we call inbound lead generation. In layman's terms, this means that you will discover that people are the ones who will reach out to you. You don't have to chase them. They are the ones who will come find you at the right time, at the right moment when you need it. And number 4, so that's inbound. But there's also what we call outbound lead generation on LinkedIn. And probably you will not do this if you are, probably this is not yet in your mind if you want to be hired. But I'm sure you would also consider an outreach strategy. Meaning we don't just have to be passive waiting for opportunities to come. We have to create our own opportunities. And in some cases, we need to reach out to recruiters, reach out to hiring managers. And maybe one of the things that I want to ask Raymond is, how do recruiters react or respond when someone reaches out to them? And it's legitimate. It's okay to reach out to HR practitioners, HR professionals. So that's 3. Number 4 is very important, relationship building. Now that you're able to attract people to your profile, you're reaching out to HR practitioners, to decision makers, you don't stop there. You have to build relationship. And honestly, the reason I'm really maximizing the result of my profile, it's because of the relationships I've built through the years. And John Mark knows this. Everyone, like John Mark and Raymond, I only met them through LinkedIn. I met John Mark through LinkedIn, and then we met face to face, right? Here in Angeles City when we had LinkedIn local Angeles City campus tour. And I have so many people that I just met through LinkedIn, and through LinkedIn we came up with collaborations and all of that. And that relationship, those relationships are the one that will really take your career from this level to the next level. So yun yung 4 pillars of your success on LinkedIn. And tonight I want to show you how do I share my share here.
Yep.
So tonight I want to show you how you can actually optimize your LinkedIn profile. As I said, this is the first. Pillar of success on LinkedIn. How do we?
And at the bottom, yep, beside the Cam and Mike, there's a share button. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss May Quizon. To those who are watching us in LinkedIn right now, Angelica Colliantes, Paramprit Sink, Calvin Cropley, Steve T, Jenryn Batrina. Yep. Thank you so much for joining us in LinkedIn. So once more, we are currently streaming live in 3 platforms. We are live in LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Yep. Good evening also to Bjorn Wittenberg from Germany. Yep, we're now seeing your screen, Miss V.
Okay, I'm sharing you my screen because tonight I want to show you exactly how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract career opportunities. But let me clarify, when we say career opportunities, I'm not just talking about jobs. Getting a job is just one of the opportunities that you will get on LinkedIn. When we say career opportunities, it could be any activity that can help you grow as a professional. And when you grow as a professional, you have that, you can achieve your goals more. It could be, what opportunities have you done so far on LinkedIn? It could be learning opportunities. I think Raymond mentioned that he enjoys learning with people on LinkedIn. It could be maybe speaking engagement, if that's what one of the things that you want to attract. Collaboration opportunities. So all of these opportunities can help you grow your career. It doesn't matter whether you're starting in your career or whether you're in the middle or senior part, everything, all of us will be able to attract opportunities. And I think it's a good idea. What if we don't have to chase recruiters? What if recruiters are the one who will come find us and contact us and offer us a job? No? So let's get started. To all of you, if you're thinking of being hired or using LinkedIn for job search, I want you first to answer or to have these questions in mind, because throughout the session you will be guided by your answer to these 2 questions. Number 1, don't start doing your LinkedIn activities without answering this question. What do you want to achieve through LinkedIn? A lot of people are on LinkedIn, they don't know what they want. So even if they're getting a lot of traction on their content, it doesn't bring them at all any opportunities, or at least not the opportunities that they wanted. So first thing is, what do you want to achieve? And make it really specific. Don't just say, I want to attract my dream job. That sounds fantastic, but that's not specific. So I want it to be more specific. What kind of job do you want to attract? What is that dream job for you? So that LinkedIn and even the universe will conspire and give you exactly what you want. For example, before we started, I asked Christian, so when you graduate, what jobs do you want to get? And he gave me very specific answers. And so I said to him, that's really very good because you know exactly what you want. Start with that. What do you want to achieve? So Christian mentioned that he wants to be, okay lang ba to mention, Christian? He wants to be a software engineer in a particular company. So he mentioned the company. So the more specific, the better. You can say something like, I want to be hired as a head of digital marketing, so very specific, in one of the SaaS companies in Israel. So these are all specific. Your position, the industry, and the location. So the more specific, the better. And number 2 question that you need to answer first before you optimize your profile is this. What do you want to be known for? Or what do you want to be found for? The things in it, when you optimize your profile, you will be found. And you should be ready with that opportunity. Or what do you want to be known for? You don't want to be known for a lot of things. I know a lot of people have so many skills, so they end up placing so many titles on their headline. I'm an author, writer, speaker, coach, consultant. You will confuse people and you will attract no one if you keep confusing them, if you put a lot of things there. So I'd like you to focus on one thing, maybe maximum of 2 things, but ideally 1 thing only. even if you know how to do a lot of things, you have to make that decision. What is that one thing that I want to be known for? And be really great at that to a point that people can't ignore you. Recruiters can't ignore you, and recruiters can't resist contacting you. So again, two questions, or the two questions: what do you want to achieve? And number two, what do you want to be known for, or what do you want to be found for? Now, why did I ask that? Because LinkedIn is actually a huge search engine, which means that if you have the right keywords, this is the third thing you need to remember. What are the keywords that your target market is typing in here on search box? What are they typing in? So you don't have to be very creative on your headline. I'll discuss that later. What are the keywords that recruiters are actually typing in? What are the keywords that they use? And focus on that keyword. I'll show you. Can I open an incognito mode, Jomai? And will it still be visible? Can you see it? Yeah. For example, can you see my screen right now? So if we go back to my profile, I only have two keywords through the years. Since 2017, when I started DB Consulting, I focused on two keywords. Even if I know I know how to do a lot of things on LinkedIn, but I prefer to narrow it down. So from LinkedIn, what about LinkedIn? I can do a lot of things. We do content marketing, personal branding, thought leadership, lead generation, demand generation. But no, I don't want to be known for all of these things. I don't want to confuse people. So what about LinkedIn? I narrowed it down. It's personal branding. So it's just these two words, LinkedIn and personal branding. And be strong at that. I'll show you how it helps me, because recently I noticed that I'm getting a lot of leads through Google search, because LinkedIn actually, can you see it? Has high
Yep, yep.
domain authority, which means that if your profile is highly optimized, people can find you not only through LinkedIn, but also through Google search if your profile is optimized. So that's what I'm going to show you. For example, I'm on incognito mode. I encounter a lot of people who come to my profile, and when I ask them, how did you find me? They find me through my keywords on Google search, because you will appear on first page, and that's your goal. You will see here, LinkedIn expert. So I'm not using expert just because I want to be known as an expert. It's because this is the keyword that my target market is typing in to find someone with my skills. So LinkedIn expert, you know how many results are there, but I appear on first page. That's how powerful your profile is. Another thing another keyword that I'm using for years is LinkedIn consultant. And because my profile is optimized, it also appears on page one. I'm also using personal branding strategy. So clarity on what you want to be known for is critical. I'm not on top, but I guess I'm still on page one for personal branding strategy. So it's my LinkedIn profile working for you. Now, it's a good thing, because it will be a good thing if you know your keywords. Don't settle for anything that you don't want, and focus on 1 to 2 keywords. Okay. So far, do you have questions on that, or can I proceed?
Ivy, I
Yep.
have a question. Ay,
Yep.
yeah, this is actually on behalf of our fresh graduates. Kasi di ba, our fresh graduates don't have any job experience yet. So for example, I want to be a software engineer, but I'm not yet a software engineer. Is it okay to put software engineer there, or what do you suggest, B?
What I suggest, I'm sure they have internship. So they have to have a company right in their profile. It can be like no experience just because they have no job experience. But I think I'm looking at Christian's profile, and it's always a good idea to place here the company where you had your internship. And then optimize that in such a way that your keyword, say software engineer, will appear here. So for example, trainee, then what's the keyword? You could add aspiring software engineer, because you haven't graduated, but you are an aspiring. The thing is, you have to get the keywords so that when recruiters are searching for candidates, your profile will appear. So I'm sure there are internships, and it has to be here. Make it appear on different parts of your profile, and that I'll discuss also. Where should you place all of those keywords? Which parts of your LinkedIn profile should you place those keywords to attract the right opportunity?
So that makes internship even more important.
Ah.
Absolutely. And if you have more than one internships, show it on your profile. Everything that you've done, show it on your profile. And because these people that you work with are the same people who will give you recommendations, and recommendations are so powerful. So if, right now, because we have access to all of these opportunities, there's no excuse to say I only had one internship, or I didn't have any internship, things like that. There's so many opportunities. So starting from being a student, they have to start being proactive. And you have to start that even before you graduate. Kasi ang mindset sa atin, mag-iisip lang yan ng work, ng opportunities. Pag graduate na, weeks na lang, graduate na ako, so I need to find a job. So dun lang sila may gagawin. But I think it's a mindset shift. While you're a student, invest in yourself. More internships, volunteer work, very helpful. And especially on LinkedIn, because even your volunteer work, you will see in my volunteer work, it's volunteer, but I see there's a lot of value in that because I can put in my profile. And when you volunteer, make sure that you select. You volunteer for a future job that you want to have. Say as a software engineer, find a company that that are open to volunteer jobs, volunteer experience or opportunities that will help you get that job that you want later on. So it cannot be just volunteer at anything. It could be volunteering at something that will help you achieve your goal long term in terms of your career. Does that answer your question, Raymond?
Yes, definitely. Sobrang ano yan. I mean, that's really spot on. Kasi,
Yeah.
yes, ako honestly in my back in college, no, I
Mhm.
took for granted my internship,
Internship.
and now I realize how important it is for the fresh graduates nowadays.
And it's not just internship. I know that when you're in college, because I also taught college students for more than 11 years. In college, you have a lot of projects, di ba? And what students do, project ngayon, and then they will just throw it away kasi graded na. That's not the right mindset. Create a digital copy of your project because you can actually showcase them on your profile. Because recruiters are looking for what else have you done as a student? Are you a student
Yes.
leader? Do you have extracurricular? Are you actually a learner? So do you have LinkedIn learning certifications? Do you have other certifications? These are the things that recruiters look for because you don't have job experiences yet. But it doesn't mean that you're less of a person compared to those who already have jobs. If they see that you have this education, you have these certifications, you have these internships, and you have volunteer work. So lahat ng projects, I recommend na ilagay nyo sa experience section.
Ayan,
Yes, very true.
just to add, you mentioned about OJT, naalala ko tuloy sa sarili ko, Miss V, no? Actually, my first job was in manufacturing, and I really wanted to be a design engineer. So, what I did was, even though I have already graduated, I was a licensed engineer during that time, I opted to be an OJT for a year. Imagine, guys, to the students listening right now, I am already earning sana, di ba? I went back to the basics, OJT for a year, just to learn specific design softwares na I can match up, masabi sa mga hiring managers that I already know the software. And from that, I was luckily placed into a very good design firm. So sharing my my journey as an OJT, back to OJT.
So it's really about Mark being proactive and not just looking for a company that will pay you but thinking about what can I give to this company. Kasi ang mindset ngayon, naghahanap ng company that will pay them. But that's not the mindset. The mindset is, I want to find a company that will benefit the most with my skills. And what can I bring to the table? And when you go to an interview with an HR professional and you highlight what you can bring to the table, that makes you stand out already. And
Yes.
if they can see that on your LinkedIn profile, the more that you will stand out because you know the mindset. People even demand for, I like this, I want to have this salary, even though I'm an entry level person. But when you highlight what you can bring to the table and show them your LinkedIn profile, these are my credentials, these are my internships, these are my certifications, for sure, you'll be top of mind. So it's being proactive, thinking about what you can give rather than thinking about which company will pay you what you want. That's not the right thing. So now how do you prepare? So you prepare your CV. You also have to prepare your LinkedIn profile, especially these days. As I said, you have no, what's that? You don't have opportunity to go out and go to those companies and get to talk to them. But you can actually use LinkedIn to reach out to those people. But your first step is really optimizing your profile. Let me show you how you can do that. First thing, okay. First thing, I'm looking at Christian. Christian allowed me to use his profile. So okay lang, Christian. First thing, let's try to claim our LinkedIn profile URL. So I would recommend, Christian, that we remove the numbers here that don't make sense so that it's easier also for you to tell people. You can find me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Christian Mirandilla. Kasi ang hirap naman, Christian Mirandilla 327634. So ganyan, hindi siya, so you don't want that. So this is also unique, which means that only you can claim that name. So for example, in my case, Virginia Bautista, I think there are more than 80 plus, there are 80 plus Virginia, people with Virginia Bautista here on LinkedIn, but they would no longer be able to get this URL because this is unique. So they have to add something else. Now, if you want to do that, go to edit public profile URL. This is how your LinkedIn profile shows up to those who are not logged in on LinkedIn. So if you want to attract opportunities, first step is clarity. What is your goal? What are your keywords? What do you want to achieve? Next, make sure that you're visible. Edit your custom URL. That's what I said here, custom URL. So here, you will see the pencil here. Just click on the pencil and then you can edit that. It takes just a few minutes for it to be effective. And also make sure that all of these are visible. And that's how you get discovered. Kung naka-off yan, say it's only LinkedIn members. What if the recruiter is actually not logged in on LinkedIn? They won't see you. So this is, I would recommend make it public and show all of this. So make sure that it's public there. That's the first thing. Second thing is look at your headline. In the past, you can only use 120 characters on your headline. But now I think LinkedIn allows up to 200, I think up to 220 characters. Now, how do you make use of that? Make sure, remember I asked you for your keywords. Make sure that your keywords are on your headline. If there's one place on your LinkedIn profile that is very, very important to place your keywords, it will be on your headline for two reasons. One, it has more weight in getting found on LinkedIn. Number two, wherever you go. So if you, for example, I go to my feeds, I comment on other people's profile, the first thing that they will see will be your headline. So wherever you go, people see your headline first. That's why it's a real estate, premier real estate in your profile, because that's what people see everywhere you go. And then, balik tayo kay Christian. So make sure that you have your keywords. You have two ways to write your headline. First one, your keywords. And the second one, you can also add what you do. What you do, who you help. So you will see here who I help and how you do it. And make sure it's packed with your keyword. That's the purpose of headline keyword. And you can add some positioning if that will help as well. So for Christian, for example, if you're graduating, so aspiring software engineer could place here, trainee, so whatever specific position you have at MechaniWeb, indicate it here. That will also help you with a keyword. So add it to your headline. You will see I repeated it, and it's not by accident that it's repeated. I deliberately repeated them so that it's more powerful and it has more impact in terms of getting found. Because the goal is to get found on Google search and on LinkedIn. So take advantage of all the keywords that you want to be found for and place them on your headline. Question? Okay, next, the second place that you have to add your keywords. So I only have keywords, as I mentioned, LinkedIn and personal branding. So if you open my profile, kasi ang tanong sa akin, how many keywords ba before you can say that it's enough? Ang answer ko dyan is this: how badly do you want to be found for? How badly do you want to attract people who are searching for people with your expertise? But don't spam naman, no? Kasi sa akin, through the years kasi I keep updating my profile, you will see that I have all of those keywords on my profile. So when I search 134, just make sure it doesn't look spammy and it flows natural. First place, headline. Your top keyword should be on your headline. I also noticed that the first three words that you use on your headline have more weight because I often experiment, I often do some tests. Sometimes I will do personal branding first, sometimes LinkedIn first, but I noticed that when you have the top keyword on the first three words, that has more weight. So headline first. On your about section, it has to have your keyword again, even your call to action. Edit your call to action, your Calendly address, and all that to have your name and your keyword. Everything that I write about is focused on my what I do, LinkedIn and personal branding only. Nothing beyond that. And even my experience section down to the last page. So it's really more about consistency. People should see what you do from top to bottom. If you say you are a software engineer, you have to make it consistent throughout your profile that you are a software engineer. Not necessarily by just repeating it, but by simply making sure that all the experience section, volunteer work, licenses and certifications, all about that. So that's the first headline. About section, by the way, on the about section, I'd recommend if you're looking for a job, think about who who do you want to target. You have to talk to that one person, your ideal market, your ideal company. For example, Christian mentioned Accenture. So research who are these recruiters from Accenture who are active on LinkedIn, who are on LinkedIn, and look at their profiles, and then write your about section in a way that think about them and think about you're talking to them. It's different when you write thinking about the universe. It's not going to work. So you have to be very specific. If you are in front of that recruiter, how are you going to talk about yourself? And what will you tell that person so that that person will be compelled to contact? So just think about one person, your ideal target market, target audience. And then on the experience section, if you don't have a job yet, but you're an intern, you place the internship here. So experience section, again, on your experience section, please, all your keywords must be there as well. Even on the description, you can have 2,500 characters. People will think that if it's too long, nobody will actually read it. Maybe it's true, but the first goal is not for people to read your profile. Your first goal is to attract those people who are searching for your expertise. That's why you're optimizing it with keywords. That's your first goal, for them to see you and for them to land on your profile. And I'm sure if they are recruiters and they want to nominate, ano bang term doon? If they want to recommend you to their decision makers, for sure they will do their research about you. So that's the time that they will read what you have on your description, what other information you have on your LinkedIn profile. So don't worry about it's too wordy, because the goal exactly is to attract people, meaning to get people to discover you through keywords. And going down, it's also important if you're looking for jobs. Your education is important. You can also get found through your education because you appear on LinkedIn alumni page. Certifications, add them. Volunteer experience, I mentioned, but all of these should have your keywords, as I mentioned. And skills and endorsement. Okay, for job seekers, this is critical because if the recruiter is using LinkedIn's HR solution ng LinkedIn is LinkedIn Recruiter tool, and they have filters. And one of their filters is skills. I'm sure, Raymond, you're familiar also with LinkedIn Recruiter. Skills,
Yes.
industry, and schools, right? So for those who are looking for jobs, make sure that the skills that you want to be found for are added here. You can have up to 50 skills. Add them and then ask for endorsements. So just add a new skill here and then up to 50. Just make sure what I would recommend, whatever your top three keywords are, place them on top. And you can do that by simply clicking on the pencil and then pin them. So again, it has to be consistent. What are you saying on the headline, on the about section, on the experience section should also match your top skills. Imagine if on my headline I say I'm a personal branding strategist, and then I placed here editing as my top skill. It doesn't match at all. So it has to match from top to bottom. They should see, recruiters should see the same thing. Software engineer, what are the skills relevant to that? Okay. So let's not save that. Highlight here, because when recruiters use their tool called LinkedIn Recruiter, and you have, for example, they added ano bang skill ng software engineer. So, for example, Adobe Photoshop, if they have that and you have 99 plus, you have a lot of endorsement there, you will appear on top of the search. So meaning the more endorsement you have on a particular skill, the more that you get found by recruiters using the LinkedIn Recruiter tool. So aim for as many endorsements as possible because that puts you on top. Now, this is a strategy that you can use. How do you know what skills to add? First, of course, what are your skills? Add them all. But there's a strategy that you can also use. Let me show you. For example, I'm Christian, so I want to be hired as sinabi ni Christian software engineer. So hanapin mo muna sa jobs. I click on jobs and enter the job that you want. So software engineer and there. And once you have it there, so you can use these filters. Software engineer, you can select a company. I think, for example, Christian mentioned Accenture, so it's important if you already know the company, then that's good. And okay, show results. You can choose other filters, but so look at what they're looking at. So software engineer, Accenture, what are they looking for? If you have premium account, you will have other insights that free LinkedIn users will not have, like this competitive intelligence about other applicants. So that's an insight for you. So here you will see what are the skills that they want at Accenture. So they're looking for a software engineer, and these are the skills that they're looking for. Now, if I were Christian and I have these skills, I want to make sure that these skills appear on my profile. So I have to add them here. So what are they looking for? Software development, JavaScript, web development. So these are the things that Christian needs to add to his profile. And also look at other entries. What? I click on the wrong. Look at other entries. What are the common skills? Remember that these skills were selected by recruiters who are looking for people to hire in this position, for this position. So it means
Yes.
you're already positioning yourself. Ano ba yung skill na hinahanap nila? Tulad nito, software engineer, pero kailangan niya may leadership skills din, may communication skills din, may teamwork skills din. But the others, they're looking for something very technical. So you need to have the technical skills, but take note that some companies are not just after the technical skills. They also want you to have leadership skills, communication skills, and that's a good thing for you because you can add up to 50 skills right on your profile. So you have to tailor your LinkedIn profile based on what recruiters are looking for. Don't just add skills based on what you have. But if there are skills that they commonly look for and you don't have that skills, the way to do that is invest in that skills. You have LinkedIn Learning, you have a lot of certifications. For example, you don't have what are these technical presentations, and you want to have these skills so that you get hired by this company. So find a learning opportunity also through LinkedIn Learning, and some other certifications that will help you gain that technical presentation skills. And automatically you can add it to your profile. Remember that, for example, if I'm a recruiter from this company, for example, Accenture, I'm looking for an associate software engineer. I have these skills. If you have all of these 10 skills, I'm sure you will be very attractive to that recruiter compared with others who only have one skill, like myself. I'm not attractive to this recruiter because I only have leadership and I have nothing else aside from that. So automatically I'm out. But if you have all the 10 skills, definitely you will be very attractive to that recruiter. That recruiter will be happy to recommend you to the hiring manager. What do you think of this, Raymond? I'm curious. How do recruiters actually see skills when you're searching for a candidate?
Yes, actually, there are two ways as a
Mhm.
recruiter. Of course, we check out yung mga applications from the job posting, and
Mhm.
then there is also what you call recruiter search. So I personally use that. Tama, you're right, B, that we actually indicate the specific skills that we're looking
Mhm.
for in a position in a candidate. So I think it works. It works well, no? Especially that whenever you apply in job postings and there are, for example, 1,000 of applicants. You know,
Oh, no.
sometimes
Mhm.
recruiters wouldn't have enough time to really scroll down and examine everything. But when we do
Yes.
recruiter search, it already yields to the exact profile of the person that we're looking for, which is less time consuming also for
Right.
us.
That's
Yeah.
important. You don't have time to scour through all of this. So it's critical for the job candidate to appear on top of your search by
Yes,
optimizing the profiles.
that's
So,
right.
yun. Kailangan, yun yung sinasabi ni Jomar na you get past through this, all of these filters. Kung ano man yung filter na nilagay dyan, they need the skills, you have them. They need these certifications, you have them. It's just a matter of parang getting to know what's in the head of these recruiters. And you can use LinkedIn to know what's in their head, what skills are they looking for. Like, I didn't expect personally that a company will be including leadership skills and communication skills in looking for a software engineer. Perhaps software engineers might think that as long as they have these technical skills, okay na. Pero sa ibang companies pala hindi. So it's very important that you know exactly what these companies are looking for. So use these features on LinkedIn so that you can actually land a job that you want on a specific company. And then I think I will have to add, ay hindi, sige, let's go back to profile optimization para matapos siya. Saan na tayo nakarating? Medyo mahaba to pero I'll make it really short. So skills, remember to add skills. And then very important to add for recommendations. Remember that recommendations are also critical. I think this is much more important also than skills. Skills can help you get found, but actually when recruiters start looking at your profile, you can convince them better, convince them more if you have recommendations. So if you're graduating, maybe recommendations from your teachers, recommendations from your interns. So if you had an internship in a company, ask the person who that you worked with to give you a recommendation also. But you have to connect with them as well. You have to connect with them first because only your connections can give you recommendations. And below, everything, all accomplishments. So if you click here, add profile section, whatever you can add that can help you reach your goal, whatever your goal is, add them. About section, featured section, I will go back to that featured section later. Information, skills, whatever you have, put them all here. Accomplishments, publications, patents, courses you've taken, projects, even in college, what projects you had, honors and awards, all of this. The more you can add, the better. Because remember, no one knows this but you. No one can tell the world what you are really good at except you. So you really have to have that, what's that? Courage. Because I know most people don't want to place all of their accomplishments, but what are you going to do with your accomplishments if nobody knows them? You really have to do
Yes.
that for yourself. Diba, ganun yung mga, especially for Filipinos, Joe Mark, they think that if they talk about their achievements, they're tooting their own horn. But think about it, nobody will ever do that to you. Maybe our moms, but pero wala na yun eh. If you don't do it, nobody's gonna do that. And nobody will know unless you really have that courage to tell the whole world, this is what I'm good at. And additional information, whatever you have, request a recommendation, it's just one click away. Everything that you want is one click away, but you really have to exert that energy and effort and dedication to your profile. So lahat yan, ilagay nyo. Even organizations, you're part of organizations, place them, you've taken tests and certifications, all of that, it can help.
Yes,
And
that's right.
I also want to add dito, mostly hindi pinapansin to eh. You also have to add your interest here. What companies do you follow? So follow companies that you want to be hired, for example. Join groups and join schools. Of course, add your schools or follow them. It's important to add. I want to add this, John Mark. I think I missed this, and this is also critical in getting found on LinkedIn. Let me go back to the top. Your network. Where is that? Your network, your connections. Not necessarily your followers, but your connections here. So your connections. It's important that we increase our network on LinkedIn. Network means, number one, your first degree connections. Number two, it also includes your second degree connections. So those who are new on LinkedIn, when we say, di ba may makikita kayong number. So for example, Christian is my second degree connection. Second degree here means connection. Christian is a connection of my connection. So in this case, John Mark is my connection. John Mark is connected to Christian, so Christian is my second degree connection. Also included in your network are your third degree connections. So ito namang third degree connections of your second degree connections. And also included in your network are the members of the groups you are a part of. So you will see here kung anong groups ka part. Work, click work, and then groups. You look at the groups you're a part of. So these are my groups. And you look at the numbers. Yan, all of those numbers, 1,800, 48,000, meron ditong malaking groups. Yan, 2 million. All of these numbers are added to your network. So why is it important to join groups? Because it increases your network. And why is network important on LinkedIn? This is how search works. So if, for example, I search for a software engineer, naghahanap yung hiring manager, for example, just typing in here, software engineer. The results here, if I click on people, the results here are the people in my network. So in your network, let me go back to the top. It means that, for example, ilan ba tayo nga? Hindi ko kita yun. So for example, Raymond is not in my so Christian is not in my network. I'm looking for a software engineer. And since Christian is not in my network, he will not appear on my search results because each search result is unique to the searcher. So it means Christian lost the opportunity to get found by a searcher like me. Halimbawa, hindi kita, na-gets nyo, no? Hindi ko ka-network si Christian, wala siya sa same group, hindi ko siya second degree, not first degree, not third degree, and I'm looking for a software engineer, hindi siya appear search result ko. So if I'm a hiring manager, lost opportunity on for Christian just because konti yung network niya. So always remember you have to grow your network on LinkedIn. Connect with relevant people, join groups, and increase the number of your connections. So importante yun kasi ma-filter out ka. Kahit na ang ganda ng profile mo, tapos 10 lang yung connections mo, ang konti ng network mo, wala kang groups, hindi ka rin makikita. It's not gonna work as well. Hindi ka rin na-appear sa search results. So it works hand in hand. Optimize your profile, add your keywords, get into the minds of recruiters and find out what they're looking for, optimize your profile based on what they're looking for, and then grow your network. Join as many groups as possible. So mag-join kayo ng groups ng mga HR if they will allow you to join the groups and also in the industry. But joining groups with high number of members is already an advantage for you, because it helps you get found on LinkedIn. So those are the ways that you can get found. So yun, you have questions, yeah.
Sir Raymond, this reminds me of the saying, di ba? Your network is your net worth. Diba?
Yes, sino ba nagsabi niyan? Pero
And that's
that's
so
right.
true on LinkedIn.
And di ba sabi rin nila, sometimes it's not about what you know, but who you know. So yung
True.
sinabi ni B, I think it's very powerful because if you establish the right connections, you are found, and then you have the right personal branding, then I think it works for you.
Yeah, yeah. It is very true on LinkedIn. Your network is your network. So don't just connect for the sake of connecting. Connect because you know you can help them and they can help you too. It's a give and take thing. And you will discover lahat ng network mo, these are the people who will give you the opportunities that you want and opportunities that you never even imagined yourself having. Madami akong ganung experiences kahit nung 2015 pa, 14 when I started on LinkedIn. There are things that I thought I cannot do. But because people approach me, I remember this opportunity, if I can just share, no, just to encourage the graduating na don't set your mind at something. For example, if you want software engineer, close ka na sa opportunity, software engineer lang talaga. Although it's okay, but you will discover that along the way, when you have good connection based on LinkedIn, these are the people who will make you realize that you can do something else pa pala. For example, 2014 ako naging active. In 2015, there's an HR manager who reached out to me. Sabi niya ganun, we're looking for someone who can do training on business writing. And sa business writing, sinabi niya, are you doing this? Do you do this? At that time, I don't have experience doing corporate training. I do training in the academy, fellow teachers, with students, pero wala pa ako experience sa paano po mag-train kapag corporate na. Pero she invited me, and then sabi niya, do you do this? Ang first ko naisip, I said yes eh. Alam niyo yung sinabi ni Richard Branson ba yun? When an opportunity comes in, say yes and do your homework later. That's exactly what I did. Sabi ko, yes, I do that. Because I'm teaching English eh. So I have background in business writing and all that. I really haven't had experience training corporate, employees. But I said yes, and I got that opportunity. And then I realized LinkedIn is really powerful. Just optimize your profile, add all of your skills. When people find you, be open to opportunities, and you never know, it can give you to the next big thing, the next best break in your career. So that's the power of your network on LinkedIn.
Agree.
Tumatawa si Raymond, meron ka bang
Hindi.
experience na ganyan na,
Ay, oo, actually, medyo marami na. Kasi di ba as a recruiter, as an HR, the trend before was you reach out to schools and then you try to build partnerships, yung mga tie-ups, ganyan. But lately, parang I actually received mga anonymous na mga message na, inviting me to talk about yun nga, yung CV writing, interviewing, ganyan. So I was surprised kasi these people I don't know personally. So I guess the lesson there is you don't know who's watching you and then you don't know who's gonna find you. So you should be ready. Though I owe these people my responses pa, but yun nga, that's the power of LinkedIn.
That's true. You don't know who's searching for you until you get found. You will never know until you get found. And how will you get found? Optimize your profile. It's a huge step for you. And ang daming opportunities that really come because of your network. Yes, Jomar.
Share ko lang din. 3 weeks ago, I have an invite. Parang nakakabigla, no? Parang I'm not positioning myself as a YouTube expert, pero I got an offer for a role for a YouTube expert for a gaming company. So,
oh, di ba?
For a gaming company, imagine that Christian is also a gamer, di ba? Nagkataon lang during that time, wala akong ma-refer under my network na magaling mag-video editing daw ng mga games for their company. So, ayan, nakakatawa, no? I do not place myself as a YouTube expert, pero there's an opportunity.
They see what you're doing, yeah.
Oh. So, yun lang.
And also, dyan din mag-benefit yung network mo. If you, for example, if you know Christian is doing this and Christian is always there, he stays top of mind para sa'yo. Tapos maalala mo, sa feeds mo na dun si Christian, teka, ma-recommend ko nga si Christian. That's the power of posting naman your content because it helps you stay top of mind.
Yes, recently may nangyari sa akin ganyan.
Mm.
I was invited to talk about mental health, but it's not within my purview. So what I did is I recommended my connection, somebody that I
Yeah.
already met
Yeah.
personally one time. Tapos, yun nga, all her content was about mental health. She's a psychologist, so I recommended her to that person. So yun, di ba? That's
Power
the
of
power of Referra.
networking.
Yeah.
Oh, right, true.
Shout out to that person.
Kilala ko yun siguro. It's a small
Kilala
world
niya
on
yan.
LinkedIn actually. Small world on LinkedIn. You'll be surprised.
Si
Because
Cha.
it's the same people really are active to us. So do you have questions or anything that you want to ask? Or
Yeah. Christian, Felix, your thoughts. You mentioned kanina Google search. I know that SEO came into your minds, di ba?
Yes po. Natutunan ko po ngayong araw yung yung para lumabas po agad yung name ko sa Google po on first page. Parang malaking bagay po yun sa pagiging job seeker.
pero medyo
Yep.
matagal yun ha. Years yun. Years yun bago
Yes.
ako ma-appear sa page one. Like, because I'm not an SEO expert. I only understand LinkedIn SEO. But in general, understanding how it works can 10x your success. So, kumbaga, hindi ka lang nagpo-post, hindi ka lang naglalagay. Don't use your CV as, your profile as CV. Use it as a way to attract opportunities, not just as a CV. And CV kasi you give it to recruiters when they ask you for it. Okay, can you send me your CV? Okay, send your CV. Or ang profile mo hindi. Whether they ask you for it or not, they will find it. And make sure that you're ready, and that you're highlighting the right skills, you have the right recommendations, and you are projecting yourself as a professional also on the profile, on your profile. It's very, very important. And as a learner, so the reason I really love what John Mark is doing is because whether you're in school, whether you're a professional, whether you are, you have your own business, learning, it's very critical to all of us. To show that you are willing to learn, and most companies will actually love hiring people who are open to learning, because these days we don't get hired by only one or two skills. After 5 years, the skills that we have now are no longer the skills that will take us to the next level. So learning is very important. Continuous learning. So, Mark, may tanong ba kayo? Tanong kayo.
Sa comments, Jomark, there are questions. Would you like to read?
Ayan,
Would
Miss
you like us
B.
to read?
Miss B, mag-open lang po ako ng question. So, tayo dito, experience ko po sa LinkedIn. Yung sa post po, bali po kasi nung nag-start ako mag-find ng job sa LinkedIn, nakikita ko po sa kanila na may mga nagpo-post sa kanila ng mga ginagawa po nila, sa mga jobs nila, ganyan po. So, parang naging tip siya para gumawa ako ng mga po, mag-share ako ng design ko. Tapos, yung mga recruiter na fina-follow ko po, parang nagme-message back po sila, mga interior designs, mga logo designs, mga about sa design po.
Yes,
So,
that's
yun
very
po.
powerful. Share whatever it is that you're doing. Show them what you're doing. Take them to your journey. Take the people to your journey, because people love stories. People want to know what you're doing as a profession. And you never know, you can actually inspire others who are in the same journey as yours. So don't hold back when it comes to sharing your stories, professional stories, and sharing who you are on the feeds. So that's another thing. Maybe next time, let's have part 2. How do you create content that empowers others and also empowers you as a professional on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Part 2 yun.
But don't be frustrated or disappointed if you don't get
Yes.
as much engagement. Yun yung tip ko sa inyo. I think yun din sasabihin ni V.
Right, true. I see a lot of people na they have a lot of engagement and comments, hundreds, thousands, but they're not getting opportunity. And it's because there's no clarity to what you do. Very important talaga yung clarity. Hindi ka nila ko-contactin if they don't know what you do. Kung share ka lang ng store, pero ang ginagawa nito, hindi naman clear. So how will they offer you something? They wouldn't know. But it's really a combination of, number 1, knowing yourself, number 2, knowing your audience, and number 3, how do you bridge the gap? Can you help others, and how can others actually, what help do you need from others? kailangan i-declare mo rin yun. Yes, you help others, but you also need their help. So, make it really obvious on your profile. Ano talaga siya? Building a community. LinkedIn is about building a community. A community that learns together, community that helps each other, learn from each other, and community that really helps other get those opportunities that they deserve.
Ayan. Yep, another question. How about for older pros looking for a career change? Any advice?
What do you mean career change? So how do you mean you have a current job right now and you want to shift? There are different features on LinkedIn that can help you. Is that what he means? Is that what you mean, Victor? So you have a job right now, but you want to shift career.
Possible case scenario siguro, Miss V, kapareho
Okay.
sa, kunyari,
So if-
I'm an engineer, parang transitioning into financial, di ba, financial industry or realty. Yun
Okay.
ata yung parang ganun.
Okay. So transition. I've worked with a lot of people like that. Then from corporate naman, they will transition to consulting, being independent. So LinkedIn has several features that can help you. Number one, yung open to hiring. You don't necessarily have to have that green frame on your profile to say or to show that you're looking for a job. But important that you also where do we see that?
Open to work.
Yung open to work. Pero should I share my screen again? Ito. Because actually, recruiters, maybe you will agree with me also, Raymond.
Yes, we see
Recruiters are
that.
actually, kita nyo na, recruiters are
Yep, yep.
actually on LinkedIn, they're more on passive recruitment. Kahit na may work ka, kukontakin ka niyan if they like what they
Yeah.
see on your profile, di ba? So may mga cues yan. A very obvious one is this one, open to finding a new job. So even if you have a job right now, i-turn on mo lang to. So piliin mo lang siya, I'm open, whatever preferences you have. And here, choose all LinkedIn members ba or recruiters only. You can choose recruiters only. So it means that when recruiters do their search, you will appear in they will know from their searches that i-add ko sa profile ko. So add a title here. So that will show, for example, what will I add? Example na lang that I can think of right now. Yung merong, kunwari, content writer. Tapos ilagay mo lang yan, then add to your profile. Turn on notifications, pwede. Yeah. So mag-i-appear na yan dito. Open to work, only recruiters. Pwede rin if you're providing services, kung gusto mo mag-independent. Minsan kasi what others do, before they shift, they want to be independent. Or if they're looking into getting hired in another company, just turn this on. You don't necessarily have to write open to work here. Kasi if you're currently employed, di ba? Tapos makita nila you're open to work.
Yes.
Makakaya na naman yun.
Next
Makakaya
time
mo
wala.
naman nun.
Baka
Diba?
kinabukasan wala ka ng work.
Hindi ka pa nakahanap ng bago, nakita ng boss mo, aba, open to work na to. Wag nang ganon. Wag mo na lang i-add yun na open to all. Anyway, recruiters will find you naman kahit wala kang green na ganon.
Yeah.
So, lagay mo lang dito na it will signal recruiters that you're open. Kasi recruiters will see, ito currently employed to. If you did not indicate that you're open to work, hindi ka nila priority. Ang priority nila yung, okay, may work siya, but open to passive recruiting as well, na open din siya to work. So that's the first thing
Yes.
that you
Sa
can
amin,
do if you're thinking to shifting. Yes, Raymond.
yes, as a recruiter, actually, when we find the right profile, tapos we see open to work, even if employed, na-excite kami. We get excited.
Diba,
We contact
no?
the candidate right away. Uy, open to work.
Pag hindi naka-on yun, parang lost opportunity yun. Nung para open ka pala, hindi mo sinabi. Lost opportunity. That's the first thing. And then second thing, mag-start ka na mag-build relationship with the people from your target company. So, alam mo na, target company or industry. Alam mo na yung industry, for example, computer software. So, hanapin mo na ngayon yung mga nasa computer software. Sino yung connection mo who has connections from the computer software industry? then connect with them, build relationship with them. You're already establishing the foundation of your network, so that when you're ready to shift, you can find opportunities in that particular industry. So that's, I think, very critical if you want to shift jobs or industry later on. So it's really a matter of knowing what you want to achieve in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and so it's not just what you want to do now, but where do you want to go in the next few months? Position yourself there.
Ayan,
Any other question?
we have another question kay Allen Bautista. Paano po kapag online OJT, di po pumayag school na mag-OJT outside the school? I think okay lang, di ba?
What do you mean? Online OJT? I think the school should be grateful that you have OJT online, because that means you're adding more skills to yourself, and that makes you more marketable. That makes you, more of an asset to the company. So I don't know. I don't believe in people or employers or schools telling you na bawal to, bawal yan, because it's your career anyway. It's your career, and you can always indicate that online OJT. It's something that can help you get found. It's something that will show recruiters that you are not just idle when you're not doing internship in other companies, but you're investing in yourself. Anything that has relevant to learning, I think, will help you be a priority of recruiters, because they know you're open to learn. I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Unless yung tanong niya is, what if the school does not honor yung online OJT? Then we can't do anything about it. Kasi
Oo,
that's
yun. Hindi ka
regulation.
sa school. Oo, kasi sa school na yun. Pero as an
We can
individual,
always learn, yes.
Yeah.
as an individual, laging pwede. There's nothing wrong with that. Pero
Limitless.
sundin mo pa rin yung school kasi school mo. Pinili mo yung school.
Saka that's the decision of the school eh.
Oo,
So,
pinili mo yung school na yun. Pero wag mo kalimutan na your school will not even be there for you if in the future you need a job that they can help you look for.
Yeah.
For it.
And it's understandable. It's pandemic. So actually tinatanong kami ng ibang OJT namin, napakadami yung maitutulong sa company, sabihin nyo lang, 'di ba? Parang ganoon eh.
True,
So it's
true.
up to you guys. It's up to those who are young ones. Imagine the position of the manager, the director, 'di ba? He or she is a busy person, kaya we have to make them 'di ba? Attract your gain your attention. Kaya yun yung dapat intindihin nyo. Have the initiative in Tagalog, kusa.
Yeah.
Right. Magkusa.
yeah. In fact, yung sinabi
Favorite-
ni V kanina, yeah, sige, go ahead, bro.
Favorite ni boss yan. Yang may kusa. Ayan yung mga nagiging favorite ni boss. Yung mga taong may kusa. So, yeah. Yeah, Sir Raymond, sorry.
Yeah, so siguro, ayun nga, I agree kanina dun sa point ni V na parang we Filipinos, I don't know if it's part of our culture or upbringing na parang we feel ashamed or embarrassed to actually assert ourselves. So siguro gusto ko lang i-point out na as a recruiter, I want somebody who's proactive, who takes initiative. And I think assertiveness is very different from arrogance. So it's not the same. So you have to be assertive. Hindi pwedeng passive ka. Because otherwise, wala, you will be left behind talaga.
True. Jamark, nakamute ka yan.
Another question from Maxi Bautista. How can we make our profile to be more appealing and compelling if the expertise is a combination of experiences from retail industry, restaurant industry, and housekeeping management?
At yun, different
Parang haba.
industry. How can we make our profile be more appealing and compelling if the expertise? Retail, restaurant. Okay, what are your experiences in those industries? Because sometimes, even if you work with different industries, you are probably doing the same thing, or you are probably doing similar things. So focus on that. What are these skills? I've known some people who are like that kasi iba-iba yung company, So at the beginning, she thought that what she had been doing has no relation to each other. Parang galing ako ng call center, tapos napunta ako ng pharma company, napunta ako ng this industry. And because these are different industries, they think na walang connect. So paano ko ipoposition yung sarili ko? Kasi parang wala siyang connection with ibang industry. But I wanted to look at your experiences in those industries. Even if you've served different industries, I'm sure you will find something common. What are you doing? What results are you helping the company get? And from there, you will see a pattern. Try to see a pattern. I call this your career audit. Audit yourself. If you have those experiences and now you want to position yourself for the job that you want to have, especially this pandemic, no, and you're looking for a job, don't discount all of your experiences. What you need to do, go back to your experiences, then find a common pattern. What's common about this? And you will realize na isa or dalawa lang pala yung ginagawa mo even if you have joined 10 companies in the past. There must be something. So, tingnan mo yung skills mo. Always, this is naman for branding, no? Kasi it's also important, clarity on what you want to be known for. So, look at your skills. Number one, your skills, your values, and the market. What are your skills? And then, what is the market? Is there a demand for that? And then, what are your experiences? I-connect mo lang yung mga yan. So, don't focus on industry, focus on the skills and the results that you can create for the companies, and then position yourself on that particular skills that you want to be known.
Agree.
Does that answer his question?
Yep, hoping so. Yep. Another question from Shakti Singh: is having profile picture can be negative point while selected by recruiters, may be due to hidden discrimination, prejudice, bias approach?
Recruiter,
Yeah,
Raymond will answer.
Definitely, it's more appealing if you have a decent and somehow yung medyo formal picture, especially if you're looking for a corporate role. And it depends. It depends on the profession also. For example, if you're in the creatives, of course, your background, your banner, and then your profile picture. If it's not too formal, then that's understandable. In fact, parang we are more interested to see your creative side on how you apply that in your profile. So I think discrimination is another topic. Definitely, it's an issue, but it depends on the company. But I always suggest for you to have at least an acceptable profile picture. Yeah, so that you can also be seen. No? Parang somehow it also adds, a sense of connection also from the person with the person looking at your profile.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
LinkedIn, having that sorry, on LinkedIn, technically having that professional photo will help you get found 21 times. You get 21 times more profile views than without a photo. Now, I think, of course, if that becomes a negative for that company, I'm sure you wouldn't want to work for that company. So I think it's out of your options already. You
Absolutely.
want to work with companies who will accept you for who you are. Because I heard some of these concerns as well. So because I was always telling people, hey, add your professional headshot because it's always an advantage you get found. But I've heard this issues before, and definitely you wouldn't want to work with companies who find this a negative thing.
Yeah. Any additional thoughts, Ms. V, especially to the young ones who are parang general guidelines for profile pictures?
Is that a question for me or a question for?
Do you have a set of general guidelines, most especially to the young ones na parang para lang may ma-upload na profile pic?
Wag naman yung para may ma-upload na. It has to be professional. Just think of it this way. It's very simple. If you're attending an interview, how would you look? How do you want to look?
Yes.
Siyempre, hindi yung however you want to look. But it shouldn't be too formal. It should also show some personality. Yung personality mo, don't be afraid to show your personality. But of course, is that how you want to show up during interview? If the answer is yes, then yes, it should be professional headshot. But if not, then change your picture. But it's very important na I would recommend a solid background lang. White, black, solid background because the focus is on your face. And wag naman, meron ako nakikita, Jomar, ang liit ng picture pero one by one parang whole body eh. Hindi naman nila kailangan makita whole body sa liit-liit. Hindi, i-zoom in nyo in such a way at think siguro 2/3 or 1/3 of your photo nasa face nyo. Because, people react with faces eh. They react with
Yeah, yeah.
faces hindi dun sa environment mo. So they want to see your personality as well. Then I would add, if you can add dun sa featured section, hindi ko yata na-touch kanina, you can create, say, a 2-minute introduction of yourself. I think that's very powerful and very personal yon. So just speak to that recruiter that you wanna attract. Tapos ilagay mo sa featured section and talk about what you've achieved so far and what your goals are and where you want to go, what value you bring to the table. Parang interview na, parang nandun na ini-introduce mo sa. I think that's the kind. So meaning, it's very important that you humanize yourself. Sa mga bagong graduates and those who haven't had experience on LinkedIn, they think that people are very serious on LinkedIn. Kaya na-intimidate yung iba. They feel like Facebook na lang ako because Facebook can be natural and all, but on LinkedIn they think it's very professional or very serious. But on one part it's true. On another part, it's not always true because whoever you are, it's important that you humanize yourself. You show your personality and don't be someone else. Don't be someone else because someone else is already taken. Just be you. Huwag masyadong formal kung hindi ka naman masyadong formal in real life.
Yep, I think this is a general question, how to get a job out of home country.
Basically the same thing. Find a job that you want. And then even if it's, dun sa filter kanina pinakita ko, you can choose the country. You can choose the country, find a job in that country, and then connect with people from those companies in whichever location you have. So you will see, kanina pinakita ko that you can actually find, shall I share my screen again? I want to show that.
Yep, please do.
I think this is important. This is an important question also. So let me show you my screen again. So from your profile, if you're using free LinkedIn, so you have to use the advanced search here. And if you want to get found, you have to connect with the right people. You have to choose, for example, companies. To find the companies, or you can also find people. You have the filters here, and you can always filter by locations. And then connect with the people from that country, from that location. And, build a relationship with them or find jobs. When you find jobs, you can also filter by location. So again, let's say software engineer. And then choose the location. You can always choose the location here, apply all filters. But I think here you can also already. Give me a country. Joe Mark. Okay,
Canada.
US, Canada.
US. Canada,
example,
for
you wanna
those
work
who
in
are,
Canada.
yeah.
So there, then you will see software engineer by AWS, Amazon. Then you can see it here. The good thing about other countries, like US, Canada, you will know the base pay. Yung pay range na. Philippines, walang ganung feature sa jobs pero others, they have it. So that will also give you an idea. What are the top skills? So again, the same thing that I mentioned, kanina, you have to optimize your profile, targeting the skills that you're looking for. And then you can also opt to find here. You will see the insights. Who are your connections in this company? So I see that, for example, I have 34 connections in this company. I also have, what do we call these people from the same school? Fellow alumni from the same company. So if you have a good network and you have connections from the company, I think it's about time that you get in touch with them and, so that you stay top of mind and then build a relationship with them if that's really the job that you want. So you can do that by simply making your profile targeted, connect with the right people, find the right jobs in a particular country, and build your network around that. So it's all in your hands. All of these opportunities are actually in your hands. Like for me, when I was freelancing, and even now, I work mostly with international clients. So it's amazing. I get found people from outside the Philippines, and very few find me from the Philippines. So it's very possible. There's no limitation now. There's no barrier to wherever you want to work. Especially now, people are open to remote work. You can do remote work from anywhere.
Yep. Another question: what are the most important posts to add to the featured area, and what would the best way to get noticed with new projects you've worked on to gain interest for the searches and recommendations, suggestions? How will this help get noticed for recruiters?
Really, isa-isa lang. What are the most important posts to add? Okay, let me answer that. Okay, let me go back to my profile to answer that. Ano yung first question? What are the most important posts to add? Okay, featured section here. What is the most important thing? Number one, I only add two things here. Number one, those content pieces that can add to your credibility. That will show that you know exactly what you're doing. So if you have ebooks, you have projects, you can add them here. Number two, anything that will be helpful to your network. Because I'm also on branding, on personal branding. So what are the content pieces that you've created that you think can help your network? Add them here as well. And as a bonus, you can also add a video that shows you as a person. As just like what I said, you have to humanize yourself. So when you build your profile, don't make it too serious. Add your personality. And if adding a video of yourself talking to the recruiter, talking to your target audience would help humanize yourself, then add it as well. It's like an intro video. So 3 questions. Will this content piece help you establish your credibility? Then feature it there. Will it help your target market? Feature it there. Will it help add credibility, not credibility, but personality to your LinkedIn profile? Then add it here as well. So that's the first question. The second question, saan na yung second question nyo? What would be the best way to get noticed with new projects you've worked on to gain interest for the searchers and recommendations? What is the question about, Raymond? Mark? Best way to get noticed with new projects.
I think it was already answered.
It's the same. Add that to your projects. You can add here. Add the projects you've worked on here on accomplishment. Add the projects. And then also share it on your feeds. And remember your keywords. That's how you get found on LinkedIn. So add everything that you have, whether it's project, honors and awards, courses, add them to your profile. And then also don't be afraid to share that on your feeds as well. If you're working on a project, you can announce that and tell everyone on your network that you're working on this project. That will help you get found as well. And that will help you attract like-minded people. So for example, if John Mark sees your post about the project you're working on, and if he's interested in that, he would be probably compelled to contact you. So it's a way to attract like-minded people on LinkedIn. It happens, when you share your projects, and people on LinkedIn are very supportive, and they will be happy to support. And every time they comment, they react to your post, it helps you get found by people in their network as well. So that will help. Don't just add it to your profile, share it also on your feeds. That will maximize your reach. And the third one, is there a third question, Jomar? Yung sa kanya din. How will this, I think I answered that. How will this help you get noticed? Yeah, through keywords and attracting like-minded people as well. And it helps you build network as well with the same interest. So lahat ng project, the good thing about project, let me show you that. The good thing about project is, project. And you can add other people who are part of the project. So you can see I added LinkedIn Local Philippines. So the people who have worked with me in that project are also in my profile. So that's a good thing about it. Ito naman for fresh graduates, this is very important because it shows that you are like a team player, that you also work with a team, and that's very important as well. And if, for example, you are part of the project and that person added that project, you also appear in other people's profile, and that helps you get found as well. Basically, that's okay.
Okay, another question from Mihir Bagul. Yeah, any guidelines on how we can ask kind endorsements?
Okay, first you can only ask endorsements from people you're connected with. And I won't recommend, I see a lot of people on LinkedIn, they will message me like, I endorsed you for these skills, can you also endorse me? I don't agree, I don't believe in that you do something because you want something. That's not the way to do it. Find the people you have actually worked with, all of those people in the company, if you had internship, all of your colleagues, the people who know you, and reach out to them. It's okay to reach out to them if they know your skill. But if they don't know you and suddenly you want them to endorse you, I think that's not gonna work for you as well. But you can have frame your message in such a way that you're telling them what you're doing. Like I'm currently building my LinkedIn profile, and I know that we've worked together on a specific project relevant to say communication. I would be happy if you could endorse my me for communication on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Pero make sure that they know your skill. Wag yung blindly kahit sino na lang ask for endorsement. What also works in the Philippines, this is what I find to work. You endorse them first, then don't ask for anything. You endorse them. For
Yeah,
example, I know Raymond for quite some time. Even if he doesn't ask me to endorse him, I would be happy to endorse him. And usually, pag Pinoy yan, ang ganda ng reciprocity. I-endorse ka rin.
yeah,
You didn't ask for it. But the thing is, give it away first before you want to claim something or to receive something. If they don't endorse you back, that's not a problem. At least they know that you value them and you endorse them. It's,
yeah,
di ba, no, very
Agree.
powerful. Sa Pinoy, very powerful,
Yeah.
pero sa iba, hindi siya masyado.
yeah,
Parang ano yan eh, utang na loob.
yeah.
I think it's reciprocity. Di ba, ganun,
Yeah.
pag in-endorse ka, I mean, what have you got to lose if you endorse them back? Nothing to lose. It's building relationship then.
True.
Actually, funny yung experience ko about endorsement because I never asked even for a single endorsement, pero I got like for some 99 plus, ganyan. I was surprised. But yeah, thank you to all who endorsed me. I think it's also true for recommendation. So if you want to somebody to recommend you, I think number one, make sure that this person knows you because I also got recommendation requests from people that I've heard for the first time. So I tell them that I'm sorry, but I cannot recommend you. I cannot write anything about you because I personally don't know you, and even online, this is the first time that we met. So yeah, so that's what I do. I give out recommendations, and then if they also write recommendations for me, then I'll be grateful. You
Right.
give value first, yeah.
True. And if you're consistently posting, they consistently see you on LinkedIn and they see what you're sharing, diba? Even if you don't know that person, pero nakikita mo yung content niya about mental health, about health advocacy, and you won't have second thought, endorsing this person because you're gaining a lot of value from his or her content. So that's the way to do it as well. Share content, show your expertise, and really help with their content, and they will be compelled to recommend you or to endorse you. So that's giving away value.
And Christian, can you read this to us, please?
Yes. John Christopher Pagapalan said, "What is the most important part of the LinkedIn profile that we need to be optimized or always update for us to be easily found by the recruiters?"
All of the things that I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, but the topmost is your headline. Include your keywords and have some clarity. Your headline, number one. Number two, your on the job description, your about section, and the description on the experience section. Plus, of course, your skills and endorsements and recommendations. Those are the basics. The others will be add-on, like your languages, your certifications, and that will give you a solid branding on LinkedIn. So if there's only one thing, could be the headline. Pero even if you have an optimized headline, pagpunta naman sa profile mo, wala namang laman. So it doesn't make sense also that you just optimize your headline if everything else is not optimized. So I'd recommend headline first, and then go through the other basic parts in your profile.
Ayan.
And your LinkedIn profile should be dynamic. Dynamic, I mean, it should be alive, quote unquote. It's not a one-time thing that you optimize now and then you forget it. Hindi ganon. So whatever goal you have, continue creating opportunities for yourself to achieve your goal. Every time you have a speaking engagement, go back to your profile, update your LinkedIn profile. You have this project that you're working on, go back to your profile, update your LinkedIn profile. It's a document that lives and should always be updated.
Ayan. Any tips for connecting with strangers with regards to personalized invite, Miss V?
Number one, don't just connect for the sake of connecting. Again, find value first. What is the value of connecting with this person? And don't also react if the person that you try to connect with does not accept you. Because you never know, that person may also have a goal. For example, in my case on LinkedIn, I can't connect with everyone because I only have, all of us, we only have up to 30,000 connection limit. Once you reach 30,000 connections, you will no longer see the button accept or connect on your profile. So what if after 1 year or 2 years, I decided I'm going to shift, I'm going to do something else. And that means I have to rebrand. I need a different set of people. Hindi na ako makakapag-connect. So connect only with the right people, but always remember to personalize it. Don't just hit send, send, send. Always, number one, mention how you found them because they might be wondering, how did this person find me? So how did you find them, and why do you want to connect with them? And then just very short. It should be 300 characters, and never ever connect highlighting what you can get from them. I'm receiving that kind of connection request. I saw you on LinkedIn and I think you can help me do this. You can help me in this. So I was thinking he's connecting for himself. That's not the way to connect. If you want to connect with people, show them that you can add value to them. Maybe your content is relevant to them. So tell them that I would love to connect as I think you might find value in the content that I share on LinkedIn. Then always be open. Don't say, I want to connect, but ask them in the end. I'm doing testing on this. And usually when we have open-ended question that we give them option whether to connect or not to connect, we get more success, higher success. Are you open to connect? Like, I would love to connect if you are open to it. I would like to add you to my professional network if you're open to connect. Give them the option. So if they don't accept you, they don't feel bad about it. If they accept you, then good for both. So don't require them, I want to connect with you, can you connect with me? Hindi siya. Give them an option to say no. People want to have options. They don't want to be, the more people force you that do this, the more that you don't want to do it. But give them an option. I would love to connect. I would love to add you to my professional network if you're open to connect. Tapos, thank you. And always say thank you sa huli. I see na meron siyang value. Mas mataas yung success rate. I mean, this is the first impression that you want to make. You want it to be a good. And don't send PDF after connecting, ha? Mga insurance. Ganyan kasi, minsan people will connect and then after you accept, meron ka ng PDF, yung listahan ng mga services nila and products. Don't do this on LinkedIn because they will not remember you. They will remember your company. So I know which companies from insurance agencies actually do this, but I don't remember the names. Remember that when you do whatever you do, you also bring with the name of the company if you are employed. It's not just about you.
So Raymond, any tips? What are your when connecting to someone? What do you normally type on that personalized invite?
I think same with what B mentioned. Like in the end, you're gonna ask a question. Can I add you to my professional network? And then you say thank you. But one thing that I noticed, especially those who are requesting to connect with me, whenever they say that, for example, they saw a certain post of mine and then they find value in it, so somehow it helps. I mean, if you enhance the self-esteem of that person that you are connecting, So, but of course, you have to be authentic. It doesn't have to be parang,
True.
just for the sake of praising that person or recognizing that person, diba? You make up a story or whatever. So I think it helps. And then just be polite. I mean, if you're meeting someone in person, how are you gonna say it? How are you gonna, like an elevator pitch, where you have very limited characters, but your sincerity, your authenticity, and then the possible value that you can give can be communicated in that short sentence, or in a few lines.
For me, just to add, when I connect to someone, what I usually do is I conduct a background check and mention that same similarity with me and him or her. For example, if I found out is also into the band of Beatles, I'll mention that to my personalized invite. So that's one of what I typically do when connecting to someone. I look for the, what do you call that? Yung pagkakapareho na similarity, our both similarity and interests. Ayan.
That's also powerful. Yeah. So it shows na you did your due diligence naman. It's not just connecting for the sake of.
Yep.
Yes, questions?
So I guess it's time for the for the raffle draw. So a quick break lang naman for for everyone to replenish. Siguro raffle draw na lang muna tayo, and then if ever there are still comments, possibly biglang dumami ulit. Nag-register. Parang it doubled this time, no? I made let me add this. Ayan, kanina Miss V parang dumoble yung dami nung maraming humabulata sa natin, no, sa Wheel of Names.
Wala ba
Yes,
yan?
to Bashiru Akintayo, yes, sir, this is recorded. Ayan. So while consolidating lang muna siguro yung the ones who are included in our raffle draw, I'll be siguro playing a short video na lang from our dearest LinkedIn. Okay, so guys, we are still open for questions, comments, suggestions. So I'll be leaving you a quick video from LinkedIn na lang muna. Okay, so it's raffle draw time. So once more, thank you to all who are still there. I think we are still 100 plus, no? Yep. So I'm glad everyone is really eager to hear more, to learn more about the techniques on how they can optimize their LinkedIn profile. Anyways, we are going to select 10 people who will be winners for 3 months LinkedIn Learning subscription. So I hope Sir Christian and Felix can take note of those persons. So uh, the rules is if your name was selected, you have to message me before this live stream ends because the raffle draw is meant for people who are currently with us, okay, with us in this live stream. So that's why you have to message me right away before this live stream ends to claim your prize. So the prize is 3 months LinkedIn Career Premium and the LinkedIn Learning subscription. And okay. So with that in mind, yeah, our first winner is ayan, Maria Annalyn and Rade. So if you're still there, Miss Annalyn, please message us before this live stream ends. Once more, these prizes are intended to all who are still with us all the way till the end. Okay? Our second winner is Alicia Botula. So if Alicia's still there, please message us. Sir Jemar Roa, congratulations. If you're still there, please message us. Yep, we are still open for comments and questions. Yeah, please comment down below if you have. Okay, our next winner is Jomel Baroy. Congratulations. Ron Cedric Garcia, congratulations. Ron Cedric Garcia. Janine Torino, if you're still there, please message us that you won. Princess Joy Laguna, congratulations. Princess Joy C. Laguna. Joseph Leonard D. Sonza, congratulations. Please message us to claim your prize before this live stream ends. Albert Crest Canosa. Congratulations. 1, 2, 3. Nakailan na tayo, Sir Christian? Hindi ko na na-track. How many are we now?
9 na, sir,
Naka-9 na
9.
po tayo.
10 na, 10?
9 po.
Okay. Ayan, Jeline May Napula, congratulations. Ayan, please message us to claim your prize before this live stream ends. So once more, thank you to all who are still there. We're still open for comments, questions, suggestions. And ito na lang siguro, no, our last winner, Carlo A. Borlaza. Ayan, so once more, congratulations. And yeah, thank you for joining us this evening. Miss V, any...
May share lang ako konti so what I will be doing after this. Konting plug lang siguro. First on June, I collaborated with Gina Romero of Connected Women, and we're coming up with the list of most influential Filipino women on LinkedIn. So stay tuned for that. And also in May, because it's Mother's Day, I also collaborated with Wanda. Mga collaborations. So courtesy of LinkedIn, I met these people through LinkedIn. So this is just very quickly, please allow me to share my screen for the last time. So I'm working with Wanda, and we're launching next month LinkedIn personal branding for moms. So if you know any moms who want to build their presence on LinkedIn, we will be here to help them. I think Wanda is giving a 20% discount until April 15. So I think 20% is really a good discount. So yeah, so go to the site workingmomsacademy.com/LinkedIn personal branding for moms, and you will see that this is different and this is unique in a way that we only want to work with moms and help them build their personal brands on LinkedIn in order to achieve their goals. I have talked to a lot of moms on LinkedIn, particularly those who want to shift career, because John Mark, because of the pandemic,
Yep.
moms have experienced how it is to work from home. And you know me, I've been working from home since 2010. It's been a way of life for me for more than a decade. But those who have just experienced working from home since 2020 because of the pandemic, many of them realized, and they actually contacted me, they realized that they can work from home pala. And it's really a good thing for moms to be able to work from home with their family. So if you know someone, if you are one of those moms who really want to build your profile and you're looking into shifting your career, shifting in your roles, this program will really help. So if you have questions about this, you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk. And thank you so much. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. And I hope, John Mark, this won't be the last time. I'm looking forward to next video, of course. Thank you so much.
Ayan, so yep, once more, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. And yeah, if you have a message or an advocacy to share, inviting you to be our next sharer like Miss V. So yep, please message us if you're interested to share your advocacy or message. Yep, we'd like to have you in our LinkedIn Local Philippines Metro South live stream. Ayan, so Felix and Christian, any your thoughts on our live stream this evening? Felix, let's start with you.
Wala naman po, sir. Natuto ako ng marami. So, maraming ideas na pumasok sa akin kung anong gagawin sa LinkedIn. Kasi, bago pa rin lang naman po kami. We're new here. Kaya po, ayun. Thank Miss V and yun, Sir Jomar. Tsaka kay Sir Raymond po.
Raymond.
Wala na. So, yan po.
Yan. Sir Christian.
Ayun. So, marami ako natutunan tonight and natutunan ko na napaka-powerful na LinkedIn, lalo na sa mga job seekers. Kasi hindi lang pala yung job seekers ang sa search, yun din palang mga recruiters naghahanap din pala ng mga ng mga possible
Tama.
na applicants. So parang nabigyan ako ng hopes, ng pag-asa na magkaroon ng magandang trabaho basta ma-optimize ko lang yung paggamit ng LinkedIn.
Ayan, yeah, that's true. And I feel sad lang din, no? Pero we are tama naman, Miss V, di ba? 1 month of training. Is that enough? Di ba? That's not enough, di ba? Like what I have said, I mentioned a while ago, nag-OJT ako 1 year just to have that skill. So again, we are, di ba? We are open for those who want to really learn to extend their training with us. Ayan, sabihin nyo lang, basta willing, no? Willing at hindi makulit at, at panggulo. sobrang dami nating gagawin. You know naman, Miss Virginia and I share the passion of helping out, no? Giving value to everyone. At dyan kami talaga naging close ni Miss V. So I hope, sana ganun din kayo, no? Ang iniisip natin ay makapaglingkod, to be a blessing to everyone. That's what I always say. Be a blessing to everyone. Ayan, so yeah, we thanks to all who attended this evening. Thanks for inspiring us to do more. So this is a clear indication na I think we are on the right track.
On the right track. Jomar, congratulations. Very consistent ka in your efforts. I really love that.
Ayan, so yeah, consistency. I learned that from Miss V. And thank you so much to Sir Raymond for giving his insights. Kulit na lang, Sir Felix and Christian. I think Sir Raymond will be helping out our graduating students for tips to overcome those interviews. So stay tuned for that. Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss V.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Felix, Christian, and Jomar.
Thank you, Miss V.
Ayan, diyan ka lang, Miss V.
Thank you, Miss V.
Let me leave our friends with a short thanks na lang itong video na to. Pero diyan ka lang, Miss V. Ayan, so once more, thank you everyone. Goodbye and good evening. See you po again.